witnesses please stand? If you would affirm the oath as I complete its reading, do you affirm that the testimony you're about to give before the committee will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you very much. I'll introduce at this time Chief Edward Flynn. Chief Flynn has a long career of leadership in public safety. He has been the chief of the Milwaukee Police Department since 2008, where he commands an agency of 2,000 sworn officers and 700 civilians. Previously, he served as Secretary of Public Safety in Massachusetts under Governor Mitt Romney, overseeing the Massachusetts State Police, the Department of Corrections, and Massachusetts Emergency Management Agency. He has also served as Chief of Police in Springfield, Braintree, and Chelsea, Massachusetts, and in Arlington, Virginia. Flynn is a member of the Police Executive Research Forum, serves on the Executive Committee of the International Association of Chiefs of Police, and is a member of Harvard Kennedy School Executive Session on Policing, among other positions.
Members of this committee, thank you very much for the opportunity to testify to you today. The Police Executive Research Forum, the International Association of Chiefs of Police, the Major City Chiefs Association, all have legislative proposals regarding firearms violence generally and assault weapons specifically. As an active member of each of these organizations, I support the collective wisdom of the chief law enforcement executives in the country. I've been a police officer for over 40 years, starting as a patrolman in Jersey City. I've had the opportunity to lead law enforcement agencies in 3 states for the past 25 years. Among the most difficult challenges I continue to face is the firearms violence that occurs in our neighborhoods, exacerbated by the use of high-capacity magazines and assault weapons. Assault weapons are not built for sportsmen. Assault weapons are built to inflict violence against humans. Their military characteristics are not simply cosmetic in nature. These weapons are designed for combat. They are designed to quickly, easily, and efficiently cause lethal wounds to human beings. In 2012, Milwaukee police officers investigated 435 non-fatal shootings. We confirmed that rifles were used in 185 crimes in the last year. And since 2010, we've recovered 159 assault rifles from the streets of Milwaukee. In 2011, firearms were the /1 cause of death of police officers killed in the line of duty. In less than 3 years, 7 of my officers were shot with assault rifles and/or semi-automatic pistols. In addition to law enforcement officers, numerous innocent Milwaukee citizens were injured or killed by assault weapons and high-capacity firearms. While the mass murders we hear about are horrifying enough, we must recognize that our nation's cities are enduring a slow-motion mass murder every single year. On July 4th of 2008 in the city of Milwaukee, 3 suspects fired from gangways into a crowd of 100 people. 2 of the suspects fired 27 shots from high-caliber assault rifles, leaving 4 innocent people dead in the street. On July 7th of 2010, a 12-year-old child was playing in front of her house when a masked gunman approached and fired 10 shots from a semi-automatic pistol at the residence, striking the child 3 times. And on New Year's Eve, just a few weeks ago, criminals fired 5 high-caliber rounds into a duplex. The rounds penetrated interior walls, furniture, and a 7-year-old child. 5 children between the ages of 3 months and 9 years were in the building. The notion that innocent, law-abiding citizens will use an assault weapon or high-capacity firearm to protect themselves is not our experience. We know that the victims and suspects in homicides in Milwaukee are typically career criminals. 97% of our suspects and 82% of our victims have criminal histories. Furthermore, our experience indicates that the vast majority of our home invasion victims are drug dealers. They do not need semi-automatic rifles to protect themselves. The Second Amendment, like every constitutional right, is subject to reasonable restrictions and regulation. In 2008, the Supreme Court ruled the Second Amendment protects an individual's right to possess a firearm, but noted that, like most rights, the right secured by the Second Amendment is not unlimited. Now, our system of rights is designed to protect and preserve individual rights and the rights of communities. This is not an impossible feat. These are not mutually exclusive rights. We have an obligation to protect both. This bill does not take guns out of the hands of Americans. It does not strip Americans of their Second Amendment rights. In fact, if we want to be intellectually honest, the issues raised here have more to do with commerce than they do with the Second Amendment. A lot of people make a lot of money selling firearms and ammunition. Now, this isn't inherently a bad thing, but it can tempt us to search for and grasp onto false logic. The bill being discussed here today places reasonable restrictions on future sales of certain types of firearms and magazines. It recognizes the distinction between hunting rifles and assault weapons. It allows for the sale or transfer of grandfathered weapons after a common sense background check is completed. It promotes public safety. It protects the Second Amendment. It prevents the preventable. It's time for Congress to pick a side. This time I hope it's law enforcement's.